Hey guys, this is VVV Shaft bringing you another episode of the Zergling Round Up. Tonight we're going to be looking at Infinity 7's recent acquisition in AxSlav. Now, AxSlav is a player that's been around for quite a while, but not too many people know of him. He's one of the top American Zergs, hands down, period. But like I said, he's just not a player that people know too terribly much about. But I've been looking at some of his games, and he's got his own original style. He's really strong in a lot of areas, and we're going to explore that a little bit more as we go through these games. But I'm just looking at his Wikipedia right this second, seeing that he lost Hyun in the Play Him Daily. Hyun being a really strong ZBZ player that actually we were looking at earlier in some singles matches. But in any case, I just wanted to check that out real quick. Anyways, AxSlav, really good Zerg player. And here, actually, we have him playing on Antigua Shipyard. He's on the bottom right-hand corner, playing the pink Zerg. It's AxSlav. And his opponent is Clash Mook. Now, don't really know too terribly much about Mook, but from the games that I've seen so far, he's actually a really skilled player. AxSlav, however, is also incredibly skilled. So, in other words, what I'm trying to tell you guys is these are going to be some really insane matches. This is an IPL map, so it's cross positions. It's basically all that's going on right now. Both players are just setting up for the later game. This little pylon right here generally speaks that our opponent wants to go Nexus first or Forge first, which is fine. That is absolutely fine. AxSlav actually favors a pretty greedy 3-base build, no gas. He's got a lot of ways of making that work to his advantage, and I'm sure we'll see some variation of that here shortly. Here's the pull going down, and just the general shenanigans. We've got the probe that's trying to be really annoying, block the hatchery. Pylon goes down, that further blocks the hatchery. AxSlav, of course, ready for it, and is moving right into his third to take a hatchery as well. His opponent knows him, knows he likes to take this third, and is staying in a position to mess with him. In any case, here's the Forge. Forge first, not Nexus first. But there is no cannon or gateway. No Nexus has been built. Here's the Nexus. Okay, there we go. Yeah. As usual, AxSlav gets his third before his natural. It always seems to work out that way. He's one of the few players that are willing to take this risk. Essentially, it spreads out your queens. You can't use them to defend. You don't have creep spread between your bases, etc., etc. Those are the reasons players choose not to do this. But AxSlav flying in the face of convention, and that is something we reward here on Zergling Round Up. Here we go. Here's that third going up, still gasless. As I mentioned earlier, 4 lings moving out onto the map. They're going to take Zelnaga Tower, throw one here. That will basically tell if a probe or zealot is moving out. Oh, nope, he's keeping it back just a little bit for the moment. These right here, again, going to defend any kind of zealot or probe moving out. It's just a variation of that tactic. And the game's just proceeding along fairly normal lines. Speed it on up a little bit. And we're cruising right on through. The Zerg player doing a good job keeping his lings active. And by active, I don't mean they're like necessarily moving around. But see this probe? See this probe? Yeah. Guess who also sees it? Yeah. That would be iSJEcho. So this probe mostly for scouting. There is no proxy pylon down or even attempted. He does scout the 2 gas going up. Here's a 3rd gas as well. All really very standard stuff. This is where things get a little bit different. Here's a robo facility. This is 1 gate robo. 2nd gate appears to be being built. No, that's just warp gate research, my fault. Okay, so 1 gate robo. I'm good with that. Here is a probe that is probably gonna try to put a pylon up somewhere that it can warp in quickly to do some damage to its 3rd. Here's a couple of gateways that reinforces that opinion. Some sentries being thrown out. Whoa, mini force gets force fielded out of the Protoss base, denying the scout, but the 3rd will have a scout just sitting on it, as I mentioned earlier as well. That's gonna, again, that's an active ling. It's not just sitting on the map doing nothing. It's in fact looking for something in particular, a 3rd. Here's a pylon right underneath an overlord. Can you see that? Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. Will he notice it becomes the next question. And he's not going to notice it before it finishes, so he will be able to warp down a couple of units from that vantage. Here is +1 finishing. The weapons attack will make these zealots very effective. Of course, roaches here to greet those zealots. Zealots not taking much hull damage, just shield damage, so they will regenerate very, very quickly. But this pylon is for sure dead, as the Overlord gives sight onto that cliff for it to be targeted down relatively quickly. And pretty much all the pressure that Mook wanted to exert has been exerted. This warp prism, well, hey, he's gonna try. Can't blame him for that. Alright, lots of roaches here, and roaches can't exactly fire up. He picks up all the sentries, gets away safely. No losses, so. At the moment, Zerg is up 12 harvesters, so we're going to be seeing some kind of timing attack from Mook. Probably will take a 3rd behind that timing, but that harvester lead will continue to grow should a timing not come from our Protoss player. There has to be some kind of 3rd taken. That's where the Zerg is at right now. He's basically saying, if he takes a 3rd, I can transition. If he doesn't take a 3rd, he's going all in and he's making an army. So instead of allowing that to occur, he's just going ahead and exerting a little pressure, force his opponent out of that defensive position. Or even to force a trade, because roaches are really inefficient on supply. But even 70 supply ahead, he should be able to do a lot of damage here. He's going ahead pre-spreading these roaches really well. This is getting great arc to just come in here and do a lot of damage to this front line of sentry and stalkers. There's only 3 sentries left on the field. There's 3 immortals, and that warp prism. So this is a really nice force here from the Protoss player, but there's still a lot of roaches on the field, so he's going to have to be incredibly careful in exactly how he engages here. He does not have very many sentries, and that becomes, well, that's why he just reinforced a whole bunch. He's now got 9 sentries, and that will be the make or break, just how many sentries. In fact, he's got these lings just chilling right here. Check these spine crawlers out. Alright, so In this moment, within the last 10 seconds, I'm going to back it up in just a second, but I want you to look at this moment, because at this moment, he goes, I'm going to pull all these drones. I've got these spine crawlers, I've got some lings, I've got these queens. It's going to take him a little while to kill this, and he's eventually going to build some spine crawlers here. But he made a split decision and said base race. Sent all these roaches around these stalkers. Here, I'm going to go back. I want you to see the exact second he decides to do this. Okay, 20 seconds back. Alright, watch this, watch this, watch this. This is the exciting part of this game. These roaches, he sees the force and doesn't even try to engage. He just has these lings here to help defend. Some spine crawlers. It's going to buy him some time. He's just going immediately with this full-on roach force. And these roaches here he's building some spine crawlers, getting his spines in position. And he's trying to buy as much time as he can. These roaches just knocking this wall down, doing lots of damage. Some immortals here trying to defend, not really going to happen. And really good roach micro. This Protoss force getting, well, I mean, it's going to win this battle, but it's taking time. These drones being pulled completely from the natural. Yes, they are pretty much going to die, but this is a base race situation. If they're going to die anyway, they might as well die fighting. So he sends them in with the rest of the army. During all this, he's just continuing to rally in roaches. He's still got this huge number of roaches inside of the Protoss base doing insane amounts of damage. This is going to kill the Protoss player if the Zerg player doesn't die first. So the Zerg player just whittling away at the Protoss composition, and hopefully, eventually he won't have enough to kill off the Zerg player. The Zerg player will automatically win. That is the goal of our Zergy here. And these roaches being pulled back on that exact principle. He thinks he's got enough roaches to kill off the Protoss army. Will he be correct? And that becomes the question. How good is AxSlav at reading a base trade situation? Pretty fucking good. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. Watch this. Alright, he's already sacked his third, but his opponent didn't take the time to kill it. Pretty wise, all things considered. He sacked his natural, opponent didn't take time to kill it. So now the opponent is in the main. He can kill the tech, he can kill the lair, but he's trapped himself in. He's not going to be able to get out. So maybe not the best situation. He wanted to leave these here to buy himself time so he could get into the main. But now that he's into the main, he's not going to be able to get back out. This little choke point is all AxSlav needs to win this game. Watch how he controls it, and why that wins him the game. He just allows this layer to fall. Roach Warren fall. Spawning pool, no problem. Is he even bothering to rebuild any of his tech? No. He knows he wins this engagement. He's still got these roaches in the base of his opponent, and he's doing the little bit of damage he needs to. He's going to go ahead and pull those back, I guess. Alright, so they are coming back. He's getting some overlords out of there. Alright, so he gives up on this choke, but check it out. Alright. Waiting for the perfect engagement, this becomes the choke point right here. It's going to be hard to get all the Protoss units into a surround. Okay, here we go. Here's the choke point again. Protoss is caught up here. Roaches, pre-split, so as soon as the Protoss comes down, it's over. Wisely, this Warp Prism being used to funnel units down. Those two Immortals gonna be able to get out of there relatively quickly, apply a little bit of pressure to this hatchery, get it killed off. That's kind of critical in a base race situation. So, all this being said, what does our Zerg have left? There's nothing hiding there. Oh, nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Oh my god, where's the Zerg units? Is this one? No, no, there's no... Where's the Zerg? Ah, two extractors. So this becomes what the Zerg has to defend while trying to kill his opponent with all this stuff. That seems unwinnable. I'm just saying. Wouldn't you shit your pants? iSJEcho says no. Here's what's going to happen. He brings all these drones up, some extra roaches, and he can't mine. He doesn't have 300 minerals. So there's no hatchery. So there's no way he's ever going to get another hatchery. This is the best possible engagement he can possibly have. So he engages. Roaches initially getting split up. Some of these drones getting pulled back. Roaches pulling back. So not the best engagement there for the Zerg. Zerg has to be smart about this sort of thing. He's going again, but this observer's in a great position. Protoss can see exactly where the Zerg is when they're trying to go up that ramp, and can force field exactly when they need to. Only there's one problem. Uh-oh. Where'd all the sentries go? So, this becomes a battle of wills. It's iSJEcho with quite a decent number of roaches there. That's 27 roaches. Some drones. 2 immortals. Stalkers. This immortal harass from the warp prism, very nice actually. These roaches forced to run uphill. Drones mineral walking in to get a better surround on these zealots. Zealots going down like wildfire. That's a lot of roaches. They have great surface area on those stalkers. And there's only 2 immortals left in the warp prism. That is not going to be enough firepower to kill off all these roaches. He is going to do a little bit of harassment here on these extractors, but it's going to require great micro to actually be able to target down these extractors without actually losing an immortal. The roaches are following this warp prism like crazy. I mean, there's no simile there for it. Some roaches are being sent out into the map knowing that the Protoss cannot choose to defend and attack, so he's going to take advantage of the fact that he has a bigger army, split it up, and pray to God he can still hold these 2 extractors. It's the only option he's got. Roaches being sent into the Protoss base, killing off the 2 zealots guarding the entrance to this base, like the Pillars of Hercules. And gateways being killed off. There's a lot of roach units that's going to allow iSJEcho to get back into this game. There's also an extractor being made in the Protoss base, so it's no longer a game of who can hold these geysers. So now that those geysers have fallen, well, he's just going to build quite a few more. And this is exactly the way you play a base trade in these situations. This is textbook example of how to do a base trade. And iSJEcho is known for his ability in these situations. So definitely someone to showcase. And that's why we're here today on today's Zergling Round Up. We're going to be looking at iSJEcho's play and how to handle base trade situations. So we've got a 2-minute break coming up here. After that, guys, look forward to seeing you. Please enjoy.